Hey, hi guys. Hi Venkat, hi Dinesh. Hey, hi. I think we have four now. Let's wait for 5 minutes maybe. नीरज हाय आज आई विल ट्राई कि थोड़ा सा मैं एक्सप्लेन करूँ हिंदी में भी ओके मे बी वी गाइस कैन हैव सम इंट्रोडक्शन राइट एक 5 है ना IT world is round, it's round and round. You should know each other so that maybe you don't know where are the openings and where we are. Hey, hi Ram.
Hi.
So let's wait for someone. Then we'll have maybe a 5 minutes of 5 to 10 minutes in introduction. Maybe we can give the introduction to each other. First session में मैंने नहीं किया because it seems कि starting में ही अपन सब ज़्यादा time I just wanted to invest in content instead of all those things. Okay. So today I have prepared some PPT. Finally मुझे time मिला. Hey, hi, Mallikarjun, right?
Yeah, hi, Akshay.
Yeah,
Good
hi.
morning.
Good morning. I will post that video here. See, there is na one option where you can go and register for the mainframe, free mainframe. Uh, IBM Open Z Editor करके एक है. Okay, so that is uh, I will upload the video on how to do that. But उसमें प्रॉब्लम ये है कि विस्टा का जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो जो इम्यूलेटर लगता है अपने को सो दैट विस्टा सॉफ्टवेयर इज फ्री but for a 1 month only, and that's what the problem is. But I will figure out some way. I don't know, like जो classes लेते हैं वो लोग कैसे लेते हैं. I never went to those classes, but I think they have something in pen drive or something. uh, we'll try some sort of those things so that you guys can practice at home. So JCL and COBOL we are definitely having for free. For DB2, I need to see, like, what arrangement we can make to practice that at home for free. Someone wants to join the call. Admit. Okay. Hey, hi Ruchita. We'll wait for more. Maybe more 5 minutes will wait. Actually, what happened now? We after the session got started on 15. I didn't looked at the screen, right, so I was not able to admit the people who joined late. So I think that was something that a learning point for me that I have to बीच में जाके check करना है. क्या है प्रसन्ना?
Hi, Akshay.
So I think we'll wait for 2 more minutes. Maybe I can show you guys till that, right? IBM Open. Uh, I have that link here. I don't know where it is. So all of you are working here, like in mainframe currently. Neeraj, I think you are going to start on mainframe, right? आप start करने वाले हो mainframe पे, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. दिनेश, आप भी स्टार्ट करने वाले हो, ऑलरेडी आप काम करते हो मेन फ्रेम में?
हाँ हेलो सर।
हेलो।
हाँ हेलो।
तो आप स्टार्ट करोगे मेन फ्रेम में या ऑलरेडी आप काम करते हो मेन फ्रेम पे?
So my currently I'm looking at IT support engineer information.
ओके।
I just wanted to start to
अरे लेट मी सी सम ऑप्शन सो दैट यू गाइस कैन admit all. Okay, I don't want to keep it to myself. Okay. um till that point what I will do, I will check कि मैंने वो सेव कहाँ पे किया है. I have that. Okay, mainframe setup. Okay, let me share my screen meanwhile. Okay, we'll wait for 5 more minutes so that all can join. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
not able to see.
No. Okay, let me share that. Okay, maybe now.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, for now I will stop my video. Okay, to avoid and this don't share your entire screen or browser, ignore. Okay. ठीक है. So this is the link that we have, okay, through which we can register for the IBM's Z Explore initiative. Okay, so for a student purpose, they have launched this, and they have this program for from last many years. I think initially it was called something like a master in mainframe or something like that. Now it is IBM Z Explore. Okay, so. And there is a link. You have to go there, you have to register yourself. Okay, and then there are some points like, I have captured those screens while registering. Then you have to answer some questions like you are a student, educator, or someone. Okay, and then that will take you to somewhere here, and after you are ready they will give you a ID and password. Okay, and then once you got the ID and password, you have to I'll tell you. अच्छा, कोई एडमिट किसी को करना है क्या? ओके, ठीक है. um what is that? VSC1. Okay. So this is the procedure then they have given, like how to use all those things. But you don't need to go and do anything sort of this. You need to just download the Vista 3270 software. Okay, and then once you downloaded that, there is a link. Okay, so this is the mainframe address, https 204.9 whatever it is. Okay, then you have to put that into your TN emulator, and then once that address is put, then it will ask you for the login ID and password, and you have to put the login ID and password, and then you can log in into the mainframe. Okay, so I will share that the link and everything with you guys so that you guys can practice the mainframe uh, at home. Okay, and believe me, like, that is this will really help. Okay, maybe the actual projects are having slightly different uh, environments. Okay, here we have to do all the things manually, but in the actual projects we don't need those things to do manually. There are so many functions already available. Okay, anyways, I think we can start now. If I will check it between, if someone joins, then we'll admit it. Okay, now to do, let me open the screen that I'm going through today. Okay, so this is okay. Now I prepared some PPT. Okay, are you guys able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So make it interactive. See, we only have 40-50 minutes together, right? So try to learn as much as possible. And if you have some doubts, we'll definitely have some forum to connect with each and everyone. Okay. So just maybe next 50 minutes, 50 minutes, we should be there. I know that for the one that already working, this might be a basic thing, but believe me, this is where we might get wrong in the interviews. Okay, so when you want to switch the job and then these small things are asked, and during the project we normally never looked at it. Okay, and that may be cause us to we will be in trouble while answering the questions. So basic things that I am going to just a second. Let's not go through a slideshow or something. Okay. Uh, what we'll do today? Today we'll go through a JCL basics. Okay. I know that in the first session, at last 5 to 10 minutes, I explained this, but some of them, some of you guys might have missed that session. So we'll go through a JCL basics again, then JCL structure, JCL statement, the job card details, the parameters, positional parameters, keyword parameters, job submission, like how to submit a job in a mainframe, like for a beginners, and then the output analysis, like what all messages we have to look at, and then if some job is abandoned or some JCL error it gave, so where to look at. Okay, so all these things will go through today. Now, okay, I will not go into definition. As I said, JCL is a job control language. What is important for us is why we need a JCL, right? That's a basic thing that we want to know, or everyone want to know. So JCL is a component to which is needed for running the COBOL programs, compiling the COBOL programs. Okay. So once you prepare the COBOL program, there is no shortcut key or something that it will directly compile and directly run. Okay, there are some tools. See, in practical word, when you will go into the actual project, you don't need to basically create a compile JCL and compile the program. Okay, there will be tools like Endeavor, Changeman, or SCM. There are so many tools these days we have available. So the compile JCLs normally we don't need to prepare, but at the basic environment, we need to create a JCL for compiling the program, and then we need to create a JCL for running the program. Okay, running the COBOL program. So this is the one of the use of a JCL. Then uh, in a run JCL, let's say you are running some COBOL program. You created the addition of a you created a program. I think someone joined. Okay. Uh, ठीक है. Let's say in कहाँ थे रे अपन. हाँ. Huh. Let's say you created some addition program. Okay. Now you created a program to add the two numbers. Okay. I will keep it simple. Just not will not add the complex layer into it. अपन क्या करेंगे, will keep it simple. Okay. So let's say कि अपन ने we created one addition program. Okay. Now addition of a two numbers. So somewhere we have to pass data to the COBOL program to perform the addition, right? So whatever, like you are making an addition of a 2 plus 3. So you have to pass that 2 and 3 from the somewhere to COBOL program. So here the JCL comes into the picture. We can pass a data through data sets, and then in stream data and palm parameter. There are two, three different things or ways we can pass data to COBOL program. But the main point here is for that we need a JCL. Okay. In a run JCL, we will supply that data to COBOL program for processing processing the logics that we written in a COBOL program. Okay. Then now apart from a COBOL programs, we need to create the files. We need to create the PDS file. We need to create a GDGs. We need to create VSAM files, or any files that are needed to supply data to a COBOL program, that can be created through a JCL only. Okay. Then JCL is also used to do a sorts, sorting, reformatting, rearranging, joining, or many other processing with data. So once you have a data, it is not always that key for some task you need a COBOL program. Okay, so uh, let's say there is one information from a db2 table you fetched for your client, and then that client want to that information is, let's say, it has a policy number in a file, it has a policy number, then policy holder name, policy holder city name, and then mobile number of that person. Okay, but let's say you just need policy holders, those are from Pune. Okay, in output file, and you want to supply to the client. So in that case you don't need to create a COBOL program, you can do that using a sort. Okay. Okay, you there, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so for that purpose we need the JCL. Okay, now we'll go to the JCL structure. Now in a JCL structure we have 80 bytes available. Okay, total to code the JCL. So if I show you this, these are the 80 bytes that are available. Just a second. Okay, so if I do a calls, we have 80 bytes available to code the JCLs. Okay, so this is the क्या बोलते हैं उसको, kind of layout we have for the JCL. So in a JCL, few things are fixed. Okay, you have to write particular. There are some parameters called as the positional parameters, or keyword parameters. So for the positional parameter, that has to be there in certain at certain position. Okay, and that's the reason we need to know the positioning of this. Okay, so we called it as a JCL coding sheet. Okay, now how to let me. Okay, normally it looks like this. So if you want to know the positions, you will put it like a calls. Okay, now this will give you the different columns and everything. um, those are which we need to while coding the JCL sheet. Okay, so basically like 80 bytes we need. Okay, the first 8 bytes are reserved for your program name. Okay, so first, not first 8, the first two will be always these slashes. So these are important. This is needed to understand that the next, I mean, this is a valid statement. Okay, so first two are always slashes. Okay, yeah, except the in-stream data and all. For rest of the things, it will be slashes. Then from a position 3, we'll start a job name, and that will be for the next 8 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is the maximum. Okay, it's not like that. You just need to put a 8. You can put a 3, 4 also, but first should be a character. It should not be a number. Okay, and then you can have the next. You can have a numbers and the special characters and everything like that. Okay, I can make it as a AKS 123 hash or something like that, or AKS dollar 123. Okay, or I can make like this, but first character should be that should be an alphabetic character. Okay, so once the job card is coded, then there is a space. Okay, it is followed by space, and then at the position 12 we have the job name. Okay, I will go to the job card specifically in a different slide. Okay, this is to understand that this is a coding sheet. Only 72 first 72 bytes are available for us to code. Next 73 to 80 bytes are the optional sequence number. They might be there or they might not be there, but those are reserved for the sequence numbers. Okay, and the main thing is that these sequence numbers is used actually in a project for overriding and all those purpose. You may not want to go through that complexity at this point, but just understand that this is for the sequence numbers, which tells the sequence of the lines, right? Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, like that. Okay, and this is optional. You It is not like that you have to code it, but it is needed at some places, so that's why it is reserved. Okay. Now, second kind of a statements you can see are the comments. Okay, so I mean, after two slashes, if you followed that by a star, it would be considered as a comment in a JCL. Okay, so if you want to put some comment, like like here I given, right. So the so this is called as a comment statement. It is not used for the any processing or something. Okay, it will be for the informational purpose. Hmm. Okay, understand? Yeah, clear है? Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
it is clear.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, there is one
Yeah.
more statement you might have seen, that slash and star. Okay, this is called as a delimiter. Delimiter means it will mark as the end of the in-stream data. If there is no slashes, that means JCL treat it as a uh, in-stream data. Okay, and how it knows that the in-stream data is ended by the delimiter. Okay, with this delimiter, it's okay. It thinks that okay, this in-stream data is ended here. So this is the one of the one of the slash that we different type of a slash, or the what we call the operand or something like that. They called it in a theory, but what I would say is this is used for the end of the in-stream data. Okay, so these three things you have to understand: this these slashes, then the comment field, and then the eliminator. Okay, now you might have seen that there is no uh, nothing written started from here, right? So that means this is a continuation of this. We cannot go beyond the 72, so somehow we have to continue it to the next line, right? So to continue it to a next line, you have to give the comma here, and then just like this notify is a part of a job card, but I cannot write it after this, right? Because it will cross 72. That's why I've written it here. Okay, clear? So this is the base. Yeah, so this is
Yes,
the
it's clear.
basic structure of the JCL. And inside the JCL, one more thing, like we know that job, EXCDD statements are there. The important thing is the step. Okay, why step is used? Step is used to perform some activity. Okay, maybe to okay, this is the start of the step and this is the end of the step. So uh, there is no indication given at the, like the end of the step, but start of the step is always marked by the exec statement and the step name. Okay, then again we can write a step name here. I will show you how the two steps will look like. Okay, no, it's just a one step. Okay, ठीक है. मेरे को अभी what I'm trying to say is this is the one step only. Entire step is a one step. Okay, this step is used for to perform some logics, or to execute the program, or to execute the procedure, or to execute the sort. Okay, now you want to start a next step. You will code it like, you will repeat it. Now this is, I need to change to the cursor so that I can. This is the step two. Let's say. So after the so once the next exec statement comes, there is a before that there is a end of the step one. Okay. So this will be considered as a step one entirely, and then this will be considered as a step two. Okay. So
Okay.
this is also one of the important thing that we have to know, like the steps, why we need a steps, and what is the use of the steps. Okay, okay. Next slide पे चलते हैं. Now JCL statements. Okay, uh, don't go into that complexity statement names or something like that. Okay, just I will explain you practically. Job, exec, and dd, these are the main JCL statements that you have to worry about. Okay, the job statement is always coded at 12, and it is a start of the job. Okay, so it is clear. There should not be any confusion that job will be the first statement in your JCL. Okay, so job statement to clear है. EXEC statement is used to execute the program or procedures. Okay, either it will be like it is followed by the PGM, or it is followed by the proc equal to, or PGM equal to, or if something is not given, like let's say if just execute ABC is given, that means you should know that it is a proc. Okay, now let me explain it in little bit uh, detailed manner. So this should be the first statement that we already seen. Job name is limited to the 8 characters. We already seen that. Okay, it start from the position 3, and then the job statement at position 12. It is fixed in all environment. I mean, you go to any project, you go to any other fancy emulator or something, but where ISPF menu is used, job should be at the position 12. Okay, so this is a job statement. Under the job statement, in this job we have the steps, right? In this job we have the steps, and in the steps we have a exec and dd statements. Okay, so exec is to tell system that we have to execute some program. So normally it will be like pgm equal to abcd. So we have to execute the programs, and then this dd1, dd2 will be the input to these programs, or someone is the input or someone is the output to the program. So basically, forget about that dd statement now. The exec statement is, um, that would be the first statement in the step. Just like job is the first statement in your JCL, exec statement would be the first statement in your step. Okay, uh, job is divided into the different steps. So this is like a क्या बोलते हैं, master information for all the steps, and then one by one we will go at a step level. So once we go at a step level, there will be an exec statement, execute statement. So execute statement will execute either programs or procs. Okay, so if it is like pgm equal to, or sometimes it will be like, I will go to what is the procedures, we will go through that. Okay, letter. So proc equal to abcd, what does it mean? That it will execute the procedure, or simply when it is written as a abcd, it will execute the procedure also. It is also like saying that, I mean, it indicates that it is executing the procedure. So this is about the exec statement and job statement. Now the third statement is the dd statement. So dd statements, as i as I already discussed about this, it is used to store the data. Either it will be input to a program, or it will be a output from a program. Okay, so it is used to store the data inside it. Okay, so that's why it is called as the data sets. Set means bunch, data means like whatever the information we have. So data set, when we call it as a data set, it will be like, okay, I need to admit someone. Hmm. That's why it is called as the data sets. Okay, it has the information or data inside it, which is used to pass to a program for as an input, or maybe some program is taking data from input and then writing some data to an output, to so that it will be some output is written. So where to write it, it will be in the data sets. Okay, so these are the JCL statements we have. Now we'll go to a job card details. Okay, till this point, is there any confusion?
Akshay, I have wondered.
Mm-hmm.
Why you mention mod delete instead of new catalog deleter? Yes, yes.
mod delete because already I created that file, right? So we'll go through the disposition parameters maybe in the upcoming sessions. Okay, now we are focusing here on a job statement, exec statement, and dd statement. Okay, and to answer
Yeah.
your query, mod is written because already I have created this file, so I don't need to write it as a new here. If something is already created, I just wanted to modify that, I will put it as a mod. Okay.
Okay.
So the most nice thing about the mainframe is it is like your simple English language. Okay, uh,
Okay.
it is not like mod means modification of the GSL. New means creating a new. Old means already there, and then we have to see there is again a depend on a mod and old. Okay, mod is to append that, and old is to again just write it to the database already created. Okay, so we'll go through those disposition parameters, space, DCB, all those things later. I'm just now explaining the structure of the JCL. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Okay. Now the job card. Okay. So now we'll focus on we know the structure of it. Now we'll focus on the first thing. Okay, job card. So what is the job card? Job card is the see when you are executing some JCL, it should have its identity, right? Like what is the JCL name? Okay, who is running that JCL? Okay, if that JCL is using my CPU of 1 minute, so to whom I should charge for that 1 minute? Okay, then where that JCL should execute, in which environment it will execute, then what type of messages you want after the execution, who you want to notify after the execution, that okay it is completed or it is failed or something like that, those messages. Then maybe I mean, these are the basic things that has to be set up while submitting a JCL. So those all things are set up in the job card. Okay. So this is the identity information of job, like whatever questions that I already asked, right? So those questions, the answers for those questions will be given in a job card. Okay. Now what is the job name? So the first it will start from a 3 and then maximum 8, and this is called as a job name. Okay. So it will be uh, used as a name of the job, and it will be used to identify which job is submitted. Okay. Then there is one space that we already know. Then the the job keyword. Okay, that tells us that okay this is a job card, and then the next information is an accounting information. Okay, so now let's say you submit some in a project. Let's say okay, why we need this accounting information? So when you use the CPU, okay, of a mainframe, which is located, mainframe might be located at some other remote location, and you use some CPU. So your job is using that, so it knows that okay this AKS test A job is using some CPU. Now it used the 1 minute of a CPU time, okay, for its processing. But now 1 minute of CPU time is used by this thing. So what is the see it's like you're in a bank, you have your name, bank account name, and then I mean account holder name, and then the account number of the bank, right? To where the money is deposited or from where the money is taken out. So similarly, to run the job, they need to know the accounting information to whom they should charge. Okay. So after the job, that comes as an accounting information. So this is not practically much needed, but just for information purpose. Okay. Then you have some programmer name for documentation purpose. You can keep it blank. Okay, that is no problem around it, but it is just for documentation purpose. So when we actually work in a project now, the documentation is a major part which we should have. There should be some disciplined way of writing a JCL. There should be some disciplined way of documenting the JCL. So that's the reason this field is needed. Maximum 20 characters are allowed. Okay, in for the programmer name. Okay, here you can write a programmer name or your organization name or something like that. Then class. Okay. Class is again, we have a 0 to 9, and A to Z values can be coded into the class. Okay. So that means you can code here A, B, C, D, E, F, G till Z, and then 0 to 9. Okay. These are allowed values for the class. So class means like, uh, take it as a you see, every class is has its own setup. Okay, so let's say class A has its priority defined. Okay, then what how much of a CPU it should use maximum, and what all CPUs are allocated to that class. Those are environment setups for that class. So these are different for different class. For class A, class B, class C, class D, class E, it is all different. So we have to choose where we want to execute our job. Okay. Okay, so let's say in a school there are four different seminars are going on. So you have to every seminar has its own setup. One is running on the education, one is running on the professional courses, one is running on some scientific, something scientific information or something is going on there. So based on your what you want, on that basis you will decide like which class you will attend, right? Because all class has its set of predefined or set of already defined parameters. So this is how we have to tell the system that where I want to execute my JCL. Okay, so I will normally will use a class A. I will see while actually you are working on a project, you will not even see these parameters because those are already defined there, and then you will use those just because we don't need much knowledge around it, but just know in a maybe in a interview they will ask you this question. So every class has its own CPU runtime and other resources allocated. So based on our need we will make that into the so okay, in practical I will tell you. So in practically in a project, there are the two different environment: test environment and production environment. Okay, so in some projects, production environment has some predefined classes, and test environments has some predefined classes. So see, my production means the live world job. Okay, so my actual job, which will do the payments or something for the banks, that will need more CPU or more priority than my test job. Right? I'm doing some testing just for time pass. I'm doing a sort of some data, and another job that is actually doing some calculations for the bank. Okay, so which job should have a priority? The production one, right? So that's why they have different classes for production and different classes for test. Okay, so this is where it will come into the picture. Okay. Okay. अरे कट हो गया क्या कॉल मेरा?
So can you please yes, that is
Sorry.
can you please repeat the class?
Dinesh, I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you can you uh,
Okay. I'm saying that can you please repeat about the plastic discussion? I'm not getting that meaning of that plastic. So, what
Uh,
and
y- y-
where?
You have some background noise. Can you type into the chat? I think there is no way to type. Are you getting a chat box? Or maybe you can remove the background noise and then you can talk, because I'm not able to hear you properly. If someone is able to hear him, can what is the motto for defining the class?
Like if you want to repeat the class parameters, means you want to
Okay.
repeat it again.
Okay. So again, I said, like, the class is, see, there are, it is not just, mainframe doesn't have just one CPU. Okay, it has lot of CPUs, lot of other parameters, hardware defined into it. So that hardware is defined based on a class. Okay, let's say class A, B, C, D. There are four type of a class, A, B, C, D. So for A, the different amount of the CPUs are allocated. For class B, different amount of the CPUs are allocated. For class C, there is different amount of the CPU allocated. For class D, different amount of the CPU allocated. Okay, so it has own set of environment to submit your job. Okay, so let's say you are running a test. Okay, then you don't need much CPUs allocated. You should not have that much priority. You don't need that priority to your job, right? So you will use the test class. So in actual environment, production and test classes are different. In production, they use the classes with the more CPUs allocated, more priority jobs, and more, all the resources allocated are more, and they are fast. Okay, in a test environment we don't need that. So uh, basically that's the reason they have a different setup in a test. Now your question is why we need to do or segregate this information. See, let's say uh, you know let's say you have some money. Let's say you have 100 rupees, and you have 10 different students, which came to you for asking for those 100 rupees, right? Now based on the, like, who need it most, you will distribute that money, right? Let's say some is needed, some needs money for the education, some needs, one need money for the buying a chocolate, one need money for, for just buying some toy. Okay, now, so what you will think in your mind, that the someone who need for education, you will give him a more priority and will give the more money compared to rest too, right? So this is how you are distributing whatever you have. So this is like whatever mainframe have, it has to distribute that based on the priority. It has to serve you based on your priority, right? Based on the purpose you are running the job. So that's the reason these classes are defined. Pata nahi, I mean, that example might not be a good or bad, but I'm just trying to explain it you, in that particular way. So do you get it, or okay? ठीक है. हाँ. अच्छा, अपन क्लास तक ही है क्या अभी तक? ओके. We'll go to a message class. Message class is where to route the messages. Okay. Now, where to route the messages means, see, the spool is the one location where you can route the messages. But in the project, there are some other locations where you can route your messages also. Okay. You want to directly route your messages to a printer to print it, or you want to display it in a spool, or you want to. There are some tools, like, in our project we have some tool called as a saver. So they see where do you want to see your messages from your job. So that all is defined by the message class. Okay, so where to route your messages is used, that is defined in the message class. Okay, don't confuse with a message level and message class. Okay, there might be definitely a confusion around message level and message class. So message class is like, where you want to route your messages. Okay, and message level is at what level you want to display your messages. Okay, so ऐसा इसको you can I used to remember this in this way. Message level means at what level you want messages. see, everyone don't need the messages, all the messages. Okay, if you are a programmer, you need a different kind of a messages. If you are a system administration, you want to see the different kind of a messages. If you are, uh, OS developer, you want to see a different kind of a messages from a job. So those settings can be done by this message level. Okay, so message class and message level clear hai?
Yes, of course.
Good. Now notify. Now okay, मैंने जॉब का सब भर दिया, I submitted the job. तो किसको बताना है? I mean, to whom I should tell that my job is completed, right? Who get those messages that job is completed or job is failed? Some notification will be there. Okay, so that will be notified to the person. See, it's all English language, yeah. It's like, no fancy languages like something, Python or C or something like that. Notify. What is the meaning of notify in English? To notify someone, right? So to notify who to whom to notify when the job is completed, that we will specifically put here. I put it as a ampersand sysuid, because it will automatically take my id to inform, or you can directly code your id. My id is like this one is my id, so I will directly code it here. Okay, if I don't want to code that, I will just put the sysuid. So let's say if you are submitting this job from your id, then it will take your id as a notify. So sysuid is the one who submitting the job. My message will be routed to that particular person. Okay, so this is the notify. Then user and password. Okay, and now there is you want to submit this job from someone else ID because you don't have access to these files or something. So you can give the user and password here. Okay, like user equal to z1 and then password abcd. Okay, so that particular person, that particular this job will be submitted with, not with your id, with the id that you have given in here. Okay, let's say Prasanna's id is 65. Okay, and I want to submit his job from, I will ask him my password and he'll put the password here, and then I will run that. So this is how you can submit a job from someone else id. Okay, with his, obviously with his agreement. So this is why the user and password parameters are needed. Then there is a priority. Priority is like, if there are like, we know that the priority is defined on the class level. First thing, priority is defined on a class level. Okay, so class A will have different priority, class B will have different priority, class C will have different priority based on the mainframe install and how the configurations are done. Okay, but let's say within a class A there are 100 jobs. Okay, those are queued, they want to submit the 100 job, and class A cannot give the CPU to all the jobs at a time. It can just give the two jobs at a time. Okay, it can run a two job at a time. So which two jobs to select? So that can be defined by the priority parameter. More is the priority, more will be highest is the priority, your job will be executed first. Okay, so if someone has a 15 priority and someone is has a 14 priority, the 15 will be executed first. Okay, and then there is a type run equal to scan. Okay, so this is to check the syntax of the JCL. Okay, if something is wrong, if I miss the comma, or if I miss some syntax is wrong, so to check that before running, you can check that using the type run equal to scan. Okay, before actually executing the program, you want to rectify the error messages, right? So in a C program, when you compile it, you will know that okay, these are the error one, error two, error three. So to kind of compile the JCL or to see the JCL for the syntax check, you have to write it as a type run equal to scan. Then it will uh, submit the JCL and it will check the syntax of everything is correct or not. Okay, and if you want to submit the job, you should not write this type run equal to scan it, so that it can go and actually submit the job. Then there are some other parameters are also used in a type run, which is called as the hold, and then JCL hold. So hold is just to check the syntax, and if everything is correct, hold the job. Don't run it until you manually submit it. Okay. So you don't need to worry about these all two, other two parameters. Those are never used practically. Even JCL type run equal to scan is also not used. There are some utilities like a gem, JCP, and so many JCL check. Some Rex utilities are already created in each and every project. So they will, if you just put the that particular command in the command line, your syntax will be checked. Okay. So this is now. Is not practically much used in the projects, but still you should know what it is. Okay. This is the job card details. This is what you should know about the job card. Fair है? किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन?
No.
Okay. Now the last thing that remains is the parameters. So there are, I mean, see again, this theory is every needed only while giving the interviews. While actually working on that, you don't need to worry about these things, but still you should know. There are the parameters in the jobs are classified basically on two things. Okay, positional parameters and then keyword parameters. Okay, so positional parameters are job, exec, and dd statement. These are the positional parameters. So job has to be on over 12, exec statement has to be on the first line on the steps, and then dd step has to be there, inside the exec statement. So all these are kind of positional parameters. Okay. uh, and then program equal to, proc equal to, these are also the positional parameters. And then what are the keyword parameters? This type run equal to scan, user equal to something, class equal to something. These are all the, if you write it here or here, that will doesn't matter. It is not dependent on the position. You can write the class here also and message class here also. So you can change the position of the class and message class, or message class and message level, whatever it is. So that those are not position based. That's why those are called as the keyword parameter. Mostly when you have a equal to sign, na, those are the keyword parameters, except pgm equal to and proc equal to. Okay. Pgm and proc equal to are the these two are the positional parameters. Rest all who are suffixed by equal to are the keyword parameters. Clear है? इंटरव्यू में हमेशा पूछेंगे फॉर इनिशियल स्टेज. ओके. सो पोजिशनल पैरामीटर्स आर job, exccdd. Keyword parameters are all the parameters having equal to except proc equal to and pgm equal to. क्लियर है?
Yes, sir. Clear.
हाँ बोलो यार, मतलब अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो अपन वी कैन सॉर्ट इट आउट.
And clear.
ओके. नाउ वी विल, अभी कितना मिनट बचा है? वी हैव 8 minutes to go. So I would say we'll execute one sort program. Okay. Now there are concept of a PDS and PS file. PS file is the flat file. Okay, I will show you the PS file. So this is a library. Okay, consider it as a folder in your desktop. Okay, and just like this is my folder, mainframe shala is my folder, and inside that folder there are some files. Okay, so similarly, this PDS is a folder or a library inside which you have a different members. Okay, so this is called as the PDS. Okay, PDS clear है?
Yes.
Correct. And main thing is that you can see that if I want to see the information of this PDS, I will put a I here, and if I go here, it will show you that, right. It is a PDS, and then directly see this. I will tell you how to create this PDS and PS, but for at this point just know that PDS is a set of members. It has a set of members just like your folder in the desktop. It has a set of members. Okay. And inside that you can go by V, or you can go by browse option, or you can go by um edit option. Okay. And inside that, these are the list of the members that we have. Now this is the one JCL sort JCL. I will open it using V. Okay. Now this is called as the PS file, which has the input data. Okay. I will browse it, or view it. To view option is V. To browse option is B. To edit option is E. Okay, so this is the data 001, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 60, 50, the scattered data I have put. So inside this, we don't have a member or something. Inside this, we have a data. So it is called as the PS file. Okay, sequential file. Okay, and the member that where that job is located is called as a PDS. Clear a PS or PDS का concept for beginners? Yes, guys. ये सबको पता
Yeah.
है ऑलरेडी. ठीक है. Now I have created one PS file, and then this is a PS file, and then this is the output that gets generated out of it. Okay. Okay. Disk equal to share. Now ये अपन next session में देखेंगे. What is the disposition parameter? What is this? All written here is. ये जो सब है, all these things we will learn in the next uh, our next session. Okay. For now I'm just telling you how to submit the job. I have the job card. Now you know everything about the job card, what all these fancy things are. So class message, level, notify, these are the basic things that are needed in a project as well to um, yeah, in a project as well to run the JCL. Okay, and this is a comment field. So let me put a comment, something like sort JCL. Okay. Now um, this is the input file, and this is, let's say, I'm an output file. I'm putting already created that output file. Now I want to sort this data, this input data. Okay, in input we have some scattered numbers that I already shown you. There are some scattered numbers 001, 123, 0. Forget about this. This is the sequence numbers. 010, 020, 060, 050. These are not in the ascending order. So I want to make it in a ascending order. Okay. So I created this sort JCL, pgm equal to sort. Then there is a sort in, sort out. I will explain all about this. Just focus on the structure of the JCL, the job name, then step. Inside the step I have exec statement. Inside the exec statement I have a dd statements. Okay. This is the comment field. This is the actual job name, and then continuation will be done by comma, and then in stream data, when there is a no slashes, it will passing the in stream data, and when there is a delimiter, and there is a delimiter, it is stopping the in-stream data. So sort fields equal to 1 to let me, okay, let it be 10. Okay, or I will put it 3 only, because it is just a 3 places I have given. And then I want to submit this job. To sort this, I will use the sup command here. Okay, the job is submitted. This is the job ID assigned to it.
Wait, Akshay. If you give one comma 10, I mean it won't be take, right?
It will take, but what will happen after the three? There will be a characters, right? There will be there is no numeric value. There will be a spaces, so it might affect when you don't have the
Data.
when you don't have the data with the same length. Okay, let's say just a 1 2 and then 003 and then 050, like that. That in that case it will affect. In this particular case it will not affect, since the all data is having the three
Three
bytes.
digits.
Okay,
Yes.
now this is the JCL error for some issue. Let's check how to okay, what is the JCL error. So I what I will do, I will how to go to the spool, start sd dot sp. So here you can see that message levels. So now this type run had notified me that my job is failed. Okay, the class it submitted the job based on some priority. Message class is like my outputs are displayed to a spool s.st. Message levels are, these are the message levels. This kind of a messages they have given to me. Okay, now sys out print records क्यों fail हुआ भाई ये, job failed with the JCL error, flash, exception, timing. Maybe this output file is already created or something. So let me check in this messages. Allocation size limit. This one last access is not found. Okay, this input file is not found. Data set here it is a error. The data set with this I have given some wrong data set name here. Okay,
Yes.
instead of
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
it will be a C. So what I will do, I will go here. You can submit the job from a school also. I just will put it I here and then you submit again. This time it is successfully completed. So when it is successfully completed, it will give the 0000 return code. Okay. So when it is, this is max CC is the return code of the job, how your job is completed. When it is 0000, that means that it is completed successfully. Okay. Now let's check the data in the output file. Meeting may end because after 1 hour it automatically ends. I don't know. So see the data is sorted 0, 1, 10, 20, 50, 60 and 123 in the ascending order. Okay. So that's what guys I have for today. Uh, Maybe we can connect on Sunday. Everyone is free.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we'll maybe take another session on a Sunday, and then I will try to take the
Akshay, if possible, take daily regular classes. I mean, at least 1 hour.
yes. So I'm planning for that, maybe from a next or next to next week, to have the daily ones, start the daily sessions, because I need to set up some things. I'm taking it on alternate days.
Yeah,
Okay.
time slot is your wish. I mean,
Okay.
your convenient time is cancelled.
Yeah, I will try that to have this daily from maybe next week. I will notify you. Okay.
Yeah, Akshay.
Okay. I think I hope you guys all understand what the concepts I have explained here. Uh,
Yes, yes.
just go through it so that
Yes, Akshay.
I will upload the recording also. So in case you have a doubt, you can go through it. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you.